these articles would be kind of interesting to talk about, especially with everything that's happening with Huawei right now and Huawei getting banned in the US, in the UK. You can't use their networking equipment. They're the super bad guys who's doing everything wrong and everyone else is completely innocent. Obviously, there are many angles to this, but, might as well talk about what other things are going on outside of just Huawei being the guys to point your finger at. This article from Business Insider says Google reportedly deliberately shoves YouTube results ahead of competitor video sources like Facebook and Amazon's Twitch in search. Does this really surprise anyone? I would imagine if you're looking for a video of something, that YouTube would probably prop up their video on their search engine before anyone else. I don't know how you fix a problem like that. I don't know how you level that playing field. I feel like it's important to level that playing field because then one company just monopolizes on the entire thing. Google having its own search engine, obviously it owns YouTube, so they can kind of just play that whole role. I know Google got in trouble not too long ago either. I'm sure a lot of you have at some point in time tried to search for lyrics, right? For a song. And now if you search for lyrics for a song on Google, they have their own result showing up, right? So you don't even have to click a link or go to another website. You just get it straight from Google. I remember, what was it Rap Genius, or I forget now. I think it's Rap Genius, or is it just Genius? I can't remember the site, but they ended up saying that Google was just completely stealing all of their lyrics and using it as their own. They had like embedded some kind of code in it, and that code showed when Google was displaying it. So Google they didn't have their own team to, translate the lyrics or, get the lyrics in text or whatever. But I can't remember what happened with it or the validity of that. But again, when someone has so much power and they get to kind of control, I guess in a way, the digital narrative, it plays a big effect. So Google prioritizes YouTube video results over that of competitors like Facebook Watch and Twitch, according to a Wall Street Journal report. The journal conducted tests to see which video platforms are featured most prominently in Google's homepage carousel. Sources told the outlet that Google engineers and execs have played a part in how YouTube results appear at the top of the search engine's homepage, which means more traffic for the video platform. The report comes as Google sits in hot water faced with multiple antitrust cases, including one later this month in which the company, along with Apple, Facebook, and Amazon, will testify before Congress. So with a quick search on Google for any given video, a YouTube result is more likely to pop up, according to a report from Wall Street Journal published Wednesday, and per the outlet, that's by design. And again, that doesn't surprise me. Here's the thing is, when I am looking for a particular video, for the most part, I am looking for a YouTube video. I'm not looking for Facebook to give me a result. I'm not looking for Twitch to give me a result. It's usually YouTube. YouTube monopolizes on that, but they do a good job at that. Does it mean that that's how it should be? That's not what I'm saying. I don't know, again, how you level that playing field. And I think that's why I bring this up, because I think it's a good discussion to have. So the Wall Street Journal recently tested the results of various video searches on Google's homepage carousel and found that YouTube options were much more likely to be featured. It searched Google for 98 recent videos posted on Facebook and Dailymotion, as well as YouTube, that bore nearly identical titles. Sources confirmed to the Wall Street Journal that Google engineers indeed have made changes to the search engine that favor YouTube over other platforms, even if, as the journal notes, videos from other platforms have substantially more views and activity. That's interesting. For example, a YouTube video with 182,000 views and about 400 comments was given much more real estate than a nearly identical version on Facebook that had 1 million views and 900 comments. However, one expert told the WSJ that while its search test methodology checks out, it's difficult to account for search engine bias. If Google says we favor websites that are more popular, then by their standard, it might be perfectly okay to list YouTube first. So Google acquired the online video platform for 1.65 billion in 2006. It actually makes me wonder how much YouTube is worth today. What is that, 14 years later? You would think in 2006, 1.65 billion was probably a steal. In a statement sent to Business Insider, a Google spokesperson said the company's systems use web signals to consider what people will find most relevant and helpful in search results. Our video ranking systems use signals from all video sources in the same way. There is no preference given to YouTube or any other video provider. It's hard being a YouTuber and reading that and saying, yeah, that's how they do it. That's exactly how they do it. I feel like, I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like the algorithm doesn't really treat a lot of smaller YouTubers fairly. The report comes as the big four in tech, Google, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon, gear up for antitrust hearings before Congress later this month. But Google in particular has and will continue to face multiple regulatory cases designed to investigate how the company's search and advertising business impacts competitors and consumers. As Business Insider's Hugh Langley lays out, most recently, the company was hit with an antitrust investigation by its home state of California. I think that's it there. Yeah. It also kind of like, obviously, I have more of a vested interest in this recently because I bought the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. You know, I obviously have to show it off because I have it right here, but I have more of a vested interest lately because I'm using a phone that is banned from using any kind of Google services. So I don't have a lot of Google anything on this phone. And I've resorted to finding other alternatives. It's at least given me more freedom to see what else is out there and test, you know, what other apps are usable instead of just relying on Google's ecosystem. But I want to continue on because there's this other article from CNET that kind of ties in right into it that says Google sued for allegedly tracking users in apps even after opting out. So this is a separate article, I think. This isn't even about, remember when Google recently got in trouble for still tracking where you're looking when you're using incognito mode? I think it was still sending data out that was letting Google know what you were looking at in incognito mode. And I think this is another thing now that they're getting in trouble for. Okay, so a lawsuit filed Tuesday alleges Google tracks user activity through hundreds of thousands of apps, even after people opt out of sharing information. The lawsuit, which seeks class action status, was filed by law firm Boy Schiller Flexner on behalf of several individuals. The firm has represented competitors to Google, including Facebook and Oracle, according to Reuters. Routers. I don't know which one. Last month, the firm filed another suit related to privacy in Google's Chrome browser. I just want to like kind of circle back and talk about the Aurora app store that I have on my Huawei P40 Pro Plus. The Aurora app store has been, at least for me, it's been a godsend because I've been able to find a ton of apps in the Aurora app store that are not available in Huawei's app gallery. And obviously, because I don't have the Google Play Store, I have to resort to something like the Aurora App Store. But the Aurora App Store is great because it's an app store that was developed third party, that was made for anyone to use that don't want to use Google Play services. I mean, I'm not just talking about a Huawei phone. You could put this on any, if I remember correctly, you could put this on any Android phone and then install the same apps. We'll still get updates, but it won't have Google's. I guess it's made. I think Lucas was in chat a couple days ago that said it's an app store that you can use if you don't trust Google, if you don't trust what they're doing, if you think they're still like looking at what you're looking at when it comes to apps. The Aurora App Store removes all of that. And you know, I read this, I look at this, and I think about, well, what there's going to be a group of people that says, well, what do I care? I'm not doing anything bad. Who cares what they're looking at? And I disagree with that thinking, but at the same time, this has nothing to, this is more than just privacy at this point. This is a marketing thing. This is ways to help figure out as a user what you're looking at, what things you might be interested in looking at. And in turn, these are the companies that make profit off of it. They sell your data, they sell that kind of tracking info. And then who knows what else someone can build on that profile of you. Imagine these companies that have been tracking you for years or a decade now, or however long a lot of this stuff has been active. Imagine all that information they have about you and what they can learn from you, or learn your next moves or your next purchase, or, the trends in how you do things, or what they show you on screen, or what they show you on TV. I don't know. There's a lot of things that they can do. I'm not, does it sound conspiratorial in a way, but it also doesn't sound unimaginable, right? To think that a company has all this info on you, I don't think would surprise anyone at this point. Be like, if someone showed me like, hey, this is everything we know about you, I'd be like, yeah, that's right. Cause I just keep hitting accept on everything when I download an app.